Alright, hey there adventurers, I'm Norwolf, welcome to my tabletop role-playing realm, and this is episode number 8 of my Powers and Perils solo play. So, when last we left our intrepid adventurers, they had traveled from, well actually let's back up a little bit farther. So, just a bit of a recap here. So this map you see on my Fantasy Ground screen here is basically the kingdom. Small little kingdom that's kind of separated from areas of a larger realm or a larger empire or something out there. And each hex here is 5 miles. And our illustrious or intrepid adventurers had started way down in the south here in the village of Sylvanheart, where they had dealt with a warg problem, did some sample combats with, I think it was goblins and bugbear or something. I don't remember exactly what they were at this point. And then they had heard about some troubles to the north around the village of Gold Edge and the appearance of some orcs and things in that area. So they thought that they would head off in that direction and see what they could do to help out. So they traveled from Sylvanheart up through the Old Inkpot Tavern, which is kind of a waypoint inn sort of thing. And then up towards Boon Quay, where they had seen some bandits, reported it into the town of Boon Quay, and then were essentially commissioned to help take care of the bandits. So they had spent some time in this area. We got the bandits, and then we got up to, I think it was June 6th. And on June 6th, they'd headed out from Boon Quay towards Gold Edge. Following this road through the forests and hills. One of the things they did get from the orcs was a couple of riding horses, so they had actually rode up this way. And along the way, they came across a forest giant that was tearing apart some trees and just causing general mayhem. So they fought the forest giant and managed to kill it. And then when they made their way into Gold Edge, they had reported the fact that, there had been a forest giant kicking around there. They did inquire a little bit about the orcs and were told to come back in the morning and talk with the captain of the guard. So they proceeded to head over to the inn and got their accommodations for the night, and were going to basically spend a night relaxing and recovering a bit. So we will pick up on next day, which is July the 7th. And let's see here. Flip to the screen. So we're on July the 7th. We will pull out our handy little daily steps card so I can kind of keep track of what the heck I'm doing here. Right, so previous day, any sort of skill gains. We've got carrying and survival skills. And I'm going to see, so we got +1 carrying here for Gildor. Means his carrying goes up by 1. Actually now 11. Here are those 2. Is 4 survival, and I'm going to be on the generous side here, so I'm going to say that they get 1 skill point in forest and hill survival, since they're kind of traveling through heavily forested hills area. So his forest is already maxed. Gets +1 hill. That 1 expertise point becomes 1 experience point. Not that does a whole lot for him at the moment, but yeah, every little bit helps. And then with Raffin, same deal. You'll get 1 carrying, which makes his carrying now a 19. So his portage ability will go up by 1 point. Oops, and he will get 1 forest, 1 hill survival, but his survival skills here are maxed, so that's 2 more experience points. And I think that's it. Oh, food points. So they traveled from town to town, or town to village. So I'm not going to have them use their full food points for the day. They're going to use half. So that means a quarter of a food point for Gildor. The lightweight elf doesn't need a whole lot. Raffin needs 4 food points per day, so that'll be 2 for him. And our horses have 3 food points each per day, so between grazing and whatever else they do, I'll just have them use 3 food points. And then they get put up for the night at the inn as well, or at the stables at the inn. I think that's it. I knocked off the 10 copper coins or 1 silver coin for their stay for the night already. Let's see what our weather is like this day. So, we had a sunny day last time. We were in June, and that's boxcars. So that puts us up 1. So we have that puts us here, which means it's a windy, kind of partly drizzly day. Drizzly, windy day. How they feel about that, but I guess they can head out. They'll just bundle up with their cloaks and head out. I think they're going to probably leave the horses stabled at the and go on foot. They were basically told as they go and see the guard captain or captain of the guard in the morning that the orcs were primarily sighted in kind of this stretch of road here, just to the east of Gold Edge. So they're gonna probably for that first day at least focus on just heading up the road the 5 miles, looking for any signs of orcs or any sort of any areas where they might have attacked anybody. They'll get some details from the guards around kind of where the sightings were mentioned, and then if they can find any sort of traces, they'll kind of follow them back from that point. So that's going to be a skill test, and I'm going to assume it's basically going to be tracking. We're using I'm pretty sure Gilder has a higher tracking of the 2. His tracking is 7. So orcs are probably not known to be the most subtle as they pass through terrain and things like that. So I would probably argue that it would be maybe a moderate difficulty, if not easy. And then with the time that's passed, they also find out that the orcs hadn't been seen in several days. Seems like they, or at least they haven't attacked any caravans or merchants that have been traveling between the mine and Gold Edge in the last several days. Maybe they're preoccupied with something else. Maybe they're working on setting up some sort of a camp, or who knows what they're doing. So, because it's been several days since they've been seen or actively attacked anybody, that probably makes the task a little bit harder. So maybe, if it was between moderate and easy before, maybe it's moderate now. And since we're using a skill, it's going to be either 5 times or 10 times. So I'm going to probably say that it's relatively difficult just because of the time that's passed. But I'll probably give them, so that'll be 5 times 7. So 35% base chance. And again, because it's orcs and they're not necessarily known for their subtlety or their stealthfulness and things like that, generally speaking, I'm going to say that maybe a minus 10% to their roll. So we have a 14. Well, they would have found it either way. So they do find as they head down the road that day and look for tracks on the sides of the road. They do see the passage of some heavy booted prints that go just to the north of the road. So that'll be them working on tracking back that where those tracks are going. Now, what I will do here is do an encounter roll just to see if there's anything else that's going on here. Guess we're going to go with hills. So let's see what our hills tell us. So daytime, 1 to 10 is creature, 11 to 25 is human. And we got an 85, so no encounters from outside of the potential of running into the orc. Probably a good thing. So let's see. At this point, I guess since they found the tracks, it's going to be relatively easy to track these guys back. So it's going to be at least, well, at least 10 times, if not 20 times. So 10 times 7, I'm going to say they're 74. I'm going to give it to them because just to keep this moving along. So they are following the tracks back, and they're kind of heading up into the more hilly area here, just to the north of the road. And the drizzle's coming down. They're making their way through trees and following these broken branches and stepped on bushes and stuff. And by mid-afternoon or early afternoon, they can hear what sounds like combat up ahead. And you hear some distinct guttural language being spoken or yelled. And they move kind of stealthily, carefully through the woods and try and approach the scene of whatever this disturbance is. And up ahead, through the branches and bushes, they can see what looks like the remains of some old buildings, some stone walls that are partially crumbled, and they can distinctly hear the sounds of orcs yelling at something or between themselves. Neither one of these guys understand Orcish. So they don't know exactly what's being spoken. But I think it'll be fairly easy for them to kind of approach without being seen, as there's a lot of yelling and cursing, and they can hear swords or axes against shields and curses and you name it. So what they come across is essentially this scene. Let me get this set up properly here. Okay, so before them they see this, like I said, the ruins of a building. The walls are still marginally intact in some areas, but up ahead they see, within this building, they see a number of orcs that are attacking what looks like a half-orc. And in front of her, there are a number, 2 or 3, actually 3 or 4 dead orcs on the ground already, but there's still a number of them that are circling around her and attacking. Actually, it looks like I'm missing one here, so quickly fix that. Okay, so what they see is number of orcs dead on the ground. There's 2 orcs that are directly attacking this half-orc that's been cornered. Looks like there was a bit of a camp set up here, maybe an old campfire. And these 2 other orcs are waiting to move in on the orc the half-orc that's cornered. She's got a few cuts and bruises on her. There's a number of arrows stuck in her shield that she's using. She is dressed in banded ringmail, I think, as well, similar to our illustrious adventurers here. Banded ring. She's got a metal helm as well and a banded heater shield. He is fighting with a broadsword that has a nice glint to it. And then these two orcs at the back here, the orcs, they have bows. They are looking for their opportunities to occasionally take shots at the half-orc in the corner. So we're going to start with phase 1 here. Mark down a few of the stats for these guys. Let's put them. Oops. Right. So actually, before I get into this battle, so what happened here was a little while back, the last week or the week before, I was actually making up another character for within Powers and Perils, and I thought, hey, what the heck? I'm going to make a half-orc. So what I ended up doing, let me bring up the actual spreadsheet for this character. What I ended up doing was rolling up I wanted to do something a little different. So one of the custom classes that I have is a half-orc, races. One of the custom races I have is a half-orc race. And I decided to use that. So what I did was I rolled up this half-orc character, just made her female, just for no particular reason, and actually rolled some pretty amazing stats. She is mainly a fighter type. Yeah, so most of her multipliers had gone into, again, kind of the strength, stamina, dex, and agility. And then the minimums into some of the others. So she's got a whopping 38 hit points, which comes from just a stellar constitution, primarily. And with the rest of her points, she started with 65 initial increase points, 18 of which went into characteristics, so 69 got distributed amongst her current ability. 419 went into combat experience points, which gave her combat experience level 4. 15 went to expertise, so she's used 350 points on buying skills. And then her wealth was station 2, which is, if I remember correctly, 2 or 3 silver coins. And so 13 points went into that, which gave her a multiplier of 80 on her silver coins. Oh, so actually it's one. I think it was 1 silver coin. Well, actually, let's look that one up. Station 2 would have been. Station 2 is 1 silver coin. So yeah, actually, so I haven't decremented her coins here yet for the equipment that she bought. So equipment-wise, she spent 59.56 of her coins. So I'll fix that up later. Got banded ring. So with her age being 25, she had 3 rolls on the special events table. And if I pop back into the book here, there's these the special events table. So for every 10 years of age round up, you can roll 1 time on the table. And you either have to take, as I mentioned before, all your rolls or none of the rolls. So it's kind of a take them or leave them sort of thing. So when I rolled her events, she ended up with, you recently escaped from a prison in a neighboring nation. You're a wanted felon and in the land, a wanted felon in the land of the referee's choice. So I just pop back to the map here, or the kingdom map. There is a pass that comes here from the neighboring kingdom. So what I thought would be a kind of an interesting change to kind of the story that's going on here is adapting this character into that this new character into that story. So my theory here is that she's escaped from this other kingdom. The orcs in that other kingdom have been trailing her through this kingdom. She's been avoiding the main roads for the most part, avoiding the main villages and towns because she's not sure how well she'd be accepted there, being that she's a half-orc. And somehow made her way down to kind of this area. And the orcs that are trailing her are the same orcs, or from the same group of orcs, or clan of orcs, that have been kind of in this area to the south, starting to harass the trade that's the movement of goods that is going along this road between the Ketan mine area and the Gold Edge and up into the main town or city of Ketan. So they've kind of found her down in this area. She had been hiding out in this abandoned ruins. They've managed to end up courting her and started fighting her, and just so happens that our illustrious characters here have shown up maybe in the nick of time. So let's see how this battle goes. Like I said, she's already probably killed 3 or 4 orcs that are on the ground in front of her, and there's still these 6 orcs left. So we have... Oh, and of course, as usual, I didn't finish my daily morning steps here. So I did the weather roll. I need to do my mana regen. Sorry. Let's quickly catch up on these things. Mana regen. So 4 points back for Gildor here. So he's down 4 points out of his 48. Doesn't have any damage. Natural healing. No damage on this guy either. I think we did healing spells. Any sort of spell casting that morning? No. And plans for the day. They basically head off looking for the orcs, which they've now found. Or at least some of them. This doesn't look like an orc camp, but it does look like orcs attacking somebody in a camp. So our orcs have the Orc A versions have 15 hit points each. The Orc B so the Orc A's are just slightly larger than normal. They're 1.2 times multipliers. Orc B's are normal orcs at 1 time multiplier, so they have 12 hit points each. These guys go to ETV -3. And with these guys, ETV -3. And the last 2 guys are slightly smaller, but they have bows. And they go to -3 as well. They have 10 hit points. And these guys are all... These guys are what difficulty factor 2. 2 and difficulty. All of them are wearing leather armor, leather helms. These guys, A's and B's, have banded target shields and axes, whereas these Orc C's are carrying bows. They're wearing leather armor, leather helm. They have strapped to their back banded target shields, and they have scimitars hanging off their belts. And yeah, so we'll go from there. Great, so let's finish going through Marizan's character sheet here before I completely forget. So he's escaped from the neighboring nation. She rolled a random magic weapon, which I'm going to assume she's probably stolen from wherever she escaped from, which is part of the reason for the orcs pursuing her. And then she's also been trained with a skilled master, raising her expertise with all weapons of a particular type. No expertise cost is assessed for the training, and chose heavy sword for this. So heavy sword skill is 7 across the board. And then her various other skills here. And she knows the common language, whatever that is, and orc. So the magic weapon is a broadsword. It is a magic experience level 10, EL 5 magical weapon. When we look at 2, and we look at permanent magics, what that does for us, when we do an enchantment on a weapon, the hit chance goes up by the EL plus 1, so it's going to go up by 6%, i.e. it'll subtract 6 from her combat roll. The fatigue value of the weapon goes up by EL times 2 plus 1, so it goes up by 11. And the strength bonus, weapon strength bonus, goes up by EL divided by 2 round up, so that'll go up by 3. When we look at her weapon on the front page here, we'll see that her magic broadsword has that plus 6 to hit. Her weapon strength bonus has gone from 1 to 4, and the fatigue value on the sword has gone from 10 to 11 to 21. And what else here? I think that's it. She's a large person. She's 82 inches tall, which is 6 feet 10 inches. Compared to, I think the next closest would be Raffin here. Raffin's height for Gildor is 60 inches. And Raffin is 76 inches. So he's a good 6 inches shorter than she is. And I think I even have an image of her here. Hang on one second. And that's who they see cornered in that ruined building. That is Marizan. It was done with using ChatGPT and what's it called, DALL-E or whatever. So yeah, just asked it for a half-orc female warrior, and that's what it gave me. So I kind of took one of the first images that it gave me. So, anyways, yeah. So that is our warrior Marizan that is currently fighting the orcs. So we're going to go through our usual combat here. Our combat consists of each phase will be mana allocation, then missile fire, then any magic effect, and then any movement in melee or melee. We will mana allocation. I don't think Gildor is going to do any mana here. I think the Gildor and Raffin are just going to kind of charge in and look to try and help take out these orcs quickly with their weapons. In here a bit more. So we start with phase 1. No mana allocation. There is missile fire, so we have Orc C here and this Orc C shooting at Marizan. They're at 20 feet. So 20-foot range. Bow is, so the bow has a range of 20. And she is partially concealed by the guys that she's fighting, so that's going to effectively double the range. So 20 becomes 40. A range of 20, 4 inches, 4 hexes is going to be short range. And the bow at short range is on the +4 line. And she has a shield skill of 2, so she's going to add 2 to the roll. On the +4 line, +2 for the shield. Oh, plus she has a heater shield, which is a little bit bigger than the target shields that these orcs are using, so that's adding another 2. So it's actually adding 4 to their rolls. 46, the +4 line is going to be a shield hit. I don't think they can damage her shield. Again, her shield has an armor value 10, so it gives her a total damage resistance of 12. So they have to do 7 points of damage. And these orcs are bow is weapon strength bonus 0, and the hunting arrows they're using are weapon strength bonus -1, so they're actually subtracting 1 from their roll. So 2 points, so that kind of just sticks into her shield and or bounces off her shield and doesn't do anything. Second archer with +4 is going to be rolling a 30 on the +4 line. That is actually going to be a hit. He is doing a die 6 -1, 5 points of damage to her. She has she's wearing banded ring. That is going to be subtracting 3 points to her armor and 3 more points to her. So starting to get nickel and dimed here. Right. So no, that was the missile fire, no magic effect. So moving to melee. We have Raffin and Gildor moving up. So Gildor is going to come up behind this orc and hit him from the rear. And Raffin is going to come behind these 2 orcs and attack Orc B from the rear as well. It's going to be significant on their rolls. And what else? So now we go into melee. So Marizan's action. So her attack priority is 4 because of the magic sword. And Raffin's attack priority with his magic sword is actually 5. I kept forgetting to do that in his previous combat with that magic bastard sword. So she's going to go first, then Raffin, then Gildor, and then the orcs that are doing melee attacks. So he is OCV 8 versus the orcs DCV 3. He's attacking orc A. Same either way. He is on the +5 line. So the orc that she is attacking has a shield skill EL2, so she's adding 2 to her roll for that. But she is subtracting a total of EL7 and plus her the weapon, the magic of her sword 6. She's net -11 on her roll. And a 75 is going to be a complete miss on the +5 line. Yeah, she needed a 60 to at least get a shield hit. So Raffin. Raffin is OCD 9. He's on the +6 line. And he is taking the orc from the rear, unaware. The defender is ambushed, taken from the rear, or unaware of the attackers. That's -15 to his roll. Plus, there's the star there, so the defender in this position on a deadly hit is fatal, severe hit is deadly, hits are severe, and shield hits are hits. So he is acting 4 and 6. He's acting 10. The orc's shield doesn't come into play because he's at it from behind. And wow, 77. That's going to be a complete miss as well. Actually, no, that's not true. Because we have minus 25 to his roll. That was he's on the +6 line. 25, so that was 80 something, so that's going to be a shield hit, which becomes a hit. And on a hit, Raffin does d6 +5. So 6 points. The orcs have, he's attacking a B orc, so that's natural armor value 1. And the leather armor 1, so it's subtracting 2 from his roll. What did I say? That's a total of 6 points of damage. So 4 points get through on orc B2. Four points with his. All right, and Gildor. Gildor, you are OCV 6, so you are on the +3 line. You will have minus 15 for behind, plus minus 3 for the skill with his axe. He's minus 18 to his roll. So 30, that's going to be a 12 on the plus 3 line. So that's a severe, which becomes a deadly for being behind. So that deadly hit is going to be 2d10 plus 4. So 17 points. And that's on Orc C. Orc C is subtracting his leather and his helm and his natural armor value, so 3. It's going to be 11 points of damage. Gildor is... So the orc basically drops to the ground semi-conscious, quite dead. Essentially, he's going to be considered dead for this combat unless these guys leave the combat for some reason. So we're going to take him out here right away. Right, now the remaining orcs attack. So the C guys have shot their bows. The rest of these guys are... We'll start with the 2 on Marizan. We are OCV 5 versus her OCV 8. So they're on the minus 3 lines for both. There's 2 of them, so they're subtracting 5. He has a shield skill of 2. So the Orc A is subtracting 5. Orc B is subtracting 4. Expertise is a little bit less. So, oops. First guy. 60, that's 59. 3, that's going to be a miss. Next guy is minus 4. And that's going to be 70, so that's a miss. Oh. Orc C is... Guy's going to move up here. So those 2 guys are attacking Gildor. The other 2 guys are attacking Raffin, or will be attacking Raffin. Orc A, a lone attacker on Gildor this round. He is on the... He is against a DCV of 7 on the minus 2 line. 82, that's going to be a wild miss. Orc B on Raffin, going to be on the weapons DCV is 8, so he's going to be on the minus 3 line. 0, 0. Worried there for a second, that's going to be a total miss. And that is it for the first round. First phase. Phase 2. The orcs with the bows have switched to their scimitars, and they are attacking Raffin and Gildor. So Marizan is going to swing at Orc A again. And he rolls a 38. He is subtracting 11. He gets a plus 5, so 38. That's going to be a shield hit. He has probably a decent chance of destroying the guy's shield. D6 plus 6. That's 11. And his shield is an AV of 8 for the round shield, plus a skill of 2. So that's going to be greater than his shield skill. So his shield breaks. The 1 excess damage goes through to the orc. Right. Raffin. He's going to swing at Orc B again. The dice, we have a 38. That is likely a... Well, let's figure that one out. He has a chance of getting a hit out of that. So Raffin is subtracting What did I say? He's subtracting 10, but adding 1 for the guy's shield skill, so subtracting 9 would be 29 plus 6. Yeah, that's a hit. His hit is going to do 5, 3, 8 minus the natural armor value 1, so minus 2. 6 points damage get through. 10. Still up. Hey, Gildor. Gildor's thinking he probably should have cast spells from the distance rather than crawling up on this guy. But anyways, Gildor is going to swing at... Oh, actually, Orc. He is down. Actually only got 1 on him. Let's get rid of Orc C. Right, Orc C's gone. So just Orc A. He swings at Orc A. Right, so he is on the... I say he was on. He's on the +3 line. A 30 on the +3 line. He's got -3, and Orc A has a shield skill of 2, so that's +1, or sorry, -1, so 29. Going to be a hit exactly. So he does d6 + 2, so 8 points total. And that orc is subtracting 3. Natural armor value 2, leather 1, so it's subtracting 3. So 5 points to get through. All right. Now for all the orcs. We'll start with Orc A on Marazan. 2. Miss. Orc B on Marazan. 39. Likely a shield hit. Best. Not damaging the shield. Okay, Orc C on Raffin with his scimitar. There's 2 of them fighting. Is it EL 1, so that's -6. Plus Raffin's shield skill 1 and 2 for the defensive factor of the larger shield, so 3. So that's -3 to his roll. 59 on the miss. Orc B rolling a 32 minus 3 as well. 29 shield hit. Best. I don't think he can damage. Well, actually, he might damage the shield. That's going to be probably 7 points, right? 7. And Raffin. So that is another point of damage to Raffin's shield. Oops. Okay. Marazan. Where's my Raffin? Raffin, yep. Another point of damage. 1. Okay, and last but not least, we have Orc A on Gildor. So he is attacking on the... He's on the OCD 5 minus DCV 7, so he's on the -2 line. 45. Going to be at best a shield hit. Adding 2, subtracting 2, so yeah, that's a shield hit. Raffin doesn't have an EL and a shield, but he does have the heater shield does give him a 2 defensive factor. So his shield hit is going to be not enough to do any damage. Right, phase 3. We have Marizanne swinging again. She is bound to take out the orc one of these times. So she's on the +5 line. A 59 would be a shield hit. If she... Oh, actually, she broke his shield last time, so that's a hit. So she is doing a d6 plus 6. 9 points of damage. Subtracting 3. So 6 points get through. Standing, we have Raffin attacking on the +6 line. What he does. Oops. 78, that's not even going to be close. Well, yeah, that's not close. He needs, he's got a -10, -9, -8. So he's, that's 70, so not miss. Gildor swings at Orc A again. On the +1 line for Gildor. The 6 versus the, oh no, +3 line versus the DCD 3. 85 is going to be a miss. And now the orcs attack. Oh, Orc A on Marizanne. 37. -3 line, that's going to be a shield hit with the -5 or something to his roll. 6 to his roll. And he hits for 6, which actually that's enough to damage her shield again because her shield is already damaged. 10. So 6 points is over half damage there. Orc B on her. 99 is going to be a miss. Orc C on Raffin with a minus lots, not enough. 79. -3, it's nowhere near getting a hit. 49 with a -5 something. 3, not enough to get a shield hit. A miss. And Orc A on Gildor, who is on the, what did I say, -2 line? 17. That is going to be a Gildor is hit for 5 points. 5 points? Max +1, strength +1, so yeah, 5 points. So his armor knocks off 2. So his armor takes 3, and he... Right, what's next? That is it for that phase. We are on to phase 4. Okay, top of the round, top of this combat order. We have Marizanne swinging at Orc A yet again with her -11. That's going to be a 42 on the +5. That's a hit. No shield left on this guy. He is doing a d6 plus 6. 7 points, less 3. No, less 2. 5 more points get through. Still standing. All right. Raffin, let's see if you can take down your guy. He's got 2 hit points left, I guess, before he drops. So he is 54. 5. That's going to be a shield hit. And Raffin doing d6 plus 5. 6 points. That's enough to damage the guy's shield. I'm not worried about it. And Gildor on his guy. He's on the +3 line. 39. A shield hit. Likely, so it didn't damage the guy's shield. Not likely. He can't break it. And have the strength in his attack for it. And now we're on to the orcs. Bit of a grind fest here with these guys. So, first orc on Mirazan with a minus a bunch. So on the -3 line, that's going to be, it's going to get him enough to, he's got enough minuses to get him into a hit. So it's a d6 plus 2, 5. So Mirazan takes 3 more on her armor, 3 more on her. So we're up to 4, 8, 10, 12. Wow, 18 points of damage. Armor was almost falling off at this point. And the other guy swings at her. He's on the -3 line as well. 0, 0. Whew. That's a miss. Raffin, come on, Raffin. You got some decent minuses. Let's see you knock this guy out. Let me double check that. So that's -10 plus 1, so -9. Yeah, that's a +1 because of the field skill that the Orc B has. -9, so that is a 4 on the +6 line. That's a severe hit. Raffin is doing d10 plus 8, 18 points. Is greater than his word here, so that's 1, but not double, so it's not going to break. And Orc B has, he's subtracting a total of 3. So 15 points get through. Orc B2. Well, he only had 2 plus his DTV, so he only had 5 points left. Raffin only gets credit for points there. And takes damage on his weapon for the effort. Okay, so let's get rid of Orc E2. And he's gone. All right. Gildor. Gildor attacking on the +3 line. 17. That's going to be at least a hit. Can't get it down to anything better than that. So he is doing a 6 plus 2. 8 points of damage on Orc A. Got natural armor value 2, leather 1, so he's subtracting 3, so 5 more points of damage to him. 5, Gildor. Max. And we're on to the orcs. So, Orc A on Mirazan. That's going to be a miss at 89. Orc B on it. Oh, 06. That's going to be, he's got, I don't think he's got 7 points acting, so he's going to be doing a severe. So that's a D10. Plus 1, plus 2, plus 3. So D10 plus 3 damage to her. I have a feeling this is going to be knocking off her armor. Okay, 1, 2, 3. So 7 points to Marizanne. But she is subtracting 2 for the armor, 2 for the helm. So 3 points get through. And I think that does it for her armor. Her armor is now broken. Not a good thing. Okay. That was Orc A. Orc B. No. Is that Orc A or Orc B? BO1. So that was Orc A. Or sorry, Orc B. So that was the second one. Okay. Orc C on Raffin. He is on the -3 line. 9. He is adding C. Heal 1, so he's subtracting 1, so that's an 8. But he is adding 2, 3, so that's going to be 11. So that is a regular hit. Fortunately, yes. And he does Guitar's weapon strength bonus 0. Strength, no strength bonus, so 1 point of damage. And Raffin takes nothing, so his armor blocks that damage. Doesn't take any damage. Orc on Gildor on the -2 line. 53, that's going to be a miss. We are on to turn 2, phase 1. Thought this battle would have gone a little faster. Okay, Marizanne, come on. Our illustrious half-orc. Can you take this guy out? This guy's gone. They've got, well, they're getting down, but not quite enough. Okay, so she is on the +5 line. Geez, that's going to be a miss no matter what she does. -11. Not close enough. Raffin on the +6 line. 76, that's going to be a miss. Gildor on the +3 line. 29, he's going to show them how to do it. Gildor, you need to do a d6 +2. 3 points. It is completely blocked by the guy's natural armor and armor, so he does nothing. This Orc A swings at Marizanne. 46 on the -3 line. That's going to be at best a shield hit. He does 8, which may be getting close to. Shield is at 9, so it just takes another point of damage. Orc B swings at her. 56 on the -3. That's going to be a miss. Orc C swings at Raffin. 38 on the OCV. Oh, OCV 2. Oops. Versus Raffin's V8. So he's on the -6 line. Going to be a field hit. No, +2, +1, so that's a miss. And then Orc on Gildor. 14, of course. On the he was on the -2 line. That's going to be a hit. For 2 plus 2 more, I think. What strength and max? So yeah, 2, so 4. Gildor takes another points of damage, and his armor takes 2. And we're on to the next phase. Right, Marizan, show us what you can do with this wonderful sword of yours. -11 on the +5 line. You can do it. Wow. 71. Not even close. Okay, Raffin. You are attacking Orc C. Orc, you are your OCV 9 versus his 3. So you're on the +6 line. 50. I had his shield on his back, so he didn't get that out. So he's just attacking with a scimitar. So that's going to be a hit. That's going to be a d6 +5, 10 points of damage, of which 2 get blocked, so 8 points of damage to Orc C. 8. Raffin. Bastard Sword. And Gildor. And he misses. Okay. Orc A on Marizan. Misses with a 73. Orc B on Marizan. 94 misses. Orc C on Raffin with an 8. That is probably a hit. His OCV is 2 versus Raffin's DCV of 8. It's going to be on the -6 line. And there's a couple pluses on that, so he's got a regular hit. Doing 6 points with his scimitar with the weapon strength bonus of 0 and no strength bonus. So 4 points get through on Raffin. Four there and here. You guys are just going to have to buy new armor or carry a second set of armor around with them. They want to survive some of these battles. I guess that's what I think they'll be looking at a spare set of armor when next time they're in town. Yeah, so that is it, right? No, so that was the hit on Raffin. And the Orc on Gildor 84, that's going to be a miss. We are on to phase 3. Marizan, 30. -11. It's going to be 19 on the +5 line. Going to be a hit. Might actually finish this guy off finally. Got a d6 +6 +3, so 6 points of damage. He's got what? 4 to 6 points, and he falls over. So that guy, move him here so I don't forget. Orc A1. Finally. Raffin on his Orc. He rolls a 34 less 9. Nope, not even. No shield, so -10. So 24 on the +6 line. Be a hit. D6 plus 5, 7. He is subtracting 2, so 5 points get through. Points on guy, which is going to be enough to kill him. On. Let's get rid of Orc C. Blood splatters all over the place here. And Raffin can still move. He will go up to flank work there next time around. And Gildor swings at his. Come on, Gildor. Only got 5 more points to do to this guy. So let's do that. 63, that's going to be a miss, Gildor. Disappointed in you. And the Orc B attacks Marizan. Misses. Orc A attacks Gildor. 29 on the -2 line. Going to be a shield hit. That's +2, so 5 points. That's not more than... Oh, that might... No, that's not more than half, so that's not going to damage the shield. And we are on to the next phase. Phase 4 of round 2. Marizan swings at the Orc. He has a -5 and her -11, so -16. 60, is that 59? Sorry, 56. Shield hit. He could potentially break the shield. 9 points of damage. That is exactly what the shield takes. So doesn't break it. Raffin with a flank. Or sorry, rear. -15, -10, -25 to his roll. Oh, a deadly hit. Exactly what he didn't want. And he is doing 3d10. Is that right? Make bonus +2. I have a feeling I've got their names damage wrong. Let's see. Strength bonus +1d10. Of course. So Marizan could be doing 3d10, not deadly hit. Or maybe weapons. Fixed. Okay, anyways. Raffin, you're working on breaking your brand new freaking magic sword. 3d10 +9. Ouch. Ouch, ouch, ouch. So, what's that? 9, 9, 18, 28, 30. You better not break your sword. Nope, 96. Sword takes another damage. Worried there. Oh, 30. No, he didn't have a chance to break it. But he does take another point of damage. It had to be double, so he had to roll. What's that? 28? Oh, yeah, 30 something would have given him a good 10, 12% chance of breaking. Yeah. So, anyways, but that decimates Orc B with 15 points of damage that he can actually get credit for. This is best. He is on. Be a bigger blood spot than that. Probably cleaved him in two. And Gildor on his lone little orc here, Orc A, that has all of 5 points to be dropped. And he misses. Orc A swings at him. And he misses as well with on the minus something or other here. Yeah, so that's not even a shield hit. Next phase. They all move in on this orc. The orc surrenders. Actually, no, he's not going to surrender to a. The orcs here are filthy aligned, which is the opposing alignment to Gildor, and actually the rest of these guys who are elder aligned. But in particular, they hate elves, and he has a particular hate for this half orc as well. So he is fighting to the death. So Marizan with a minus 5, minus 16 to her roll. Oh god, that's going to be a deadly hit. Yes, she takes a vengeance on this guy. Oh, good. So 10 plus 11, so 21. That is 1. So her fort is a 21 fatigue, so no damage. Doesn't exceed it. And that is enough to basically obliterate the last of this work for 5 and 3, 8 points of damage. Okay. He is dead. So they kind of look at her warily, but realize that she was fighting the orcs, and the orcs were obviously headed in for her for some reason. They will go through some introductions. They are a little skeptical because he is a half-orc. They've seen very, very few half-orcs. There's the odd one kicking around in the kingdom. Other half-orcs that have escaped from the neighboring kingdom that have kind of proven themselves to be loyal to this kingdom. She basically asks for asylum, and she's assuming that, because these guys have observed her fighting other orcs that are from the kingdom that she escaped from, that they would probably help put in a good word for her. So they go through introductions. She gives them a bit of her backstory, all that kind of wonderful stuff. And we are basically going to wrap up the combat here and figure out how much experience everybody's getting. I've already assumed that she had killed some of the previous orcs, so I've already given her some of the experience for some of the orcs that were already dead on the ground. But we'll go through and figure out the rest of the experience here for these guys. So, Marizan, Raffin, Gildor. We have 6. Oh, the most she can do is 18. 18 times 2, the 6. And she did 8 here, so 16 more. And the combat difficulty 2. That's why there's the times 2. Raffin. Raffin has done 15 over here. 30. This is combat experience point. And Raffin did another 15 here. Be 30 more combat experience points. And against the archer, he did a total of 13. And that's only times 1. Combat difficulty factor 1, so 13 points there. This one. Gildor did a whole 11 over here, so it's going to be 11. He did 10 over here. 20 combat experience points. Got those, got that, got that. Cool. And so his axe, he gets the best of the CDFs here, so he gets 4 expertise in his axe. Raffin gets 4 expertise in his bastard sword. And I've already actually given her expertise in her sword. And her shield from earlier bit of combat that she would have done. Field skills. Assume these guys have had their shields hit. 4 more piece in field. All right, so we have a total of 52 combat experience points for her. We have 73 combat experience for him, and 31 for Gildor. Going to be 1 characteristic, 2 characteristics here, and we had 104 from her earlier fighting, plus the 52 here. He has 156. Had she got 161, that would have been 3, so she gets 2 characteristics. Let's add those in before we go further here. Already done her other stuff. So Raffin, you are getting 73 combat experience points. Characteristics, you are going to add 2. One here for 33. Let's add 1 to your agility. Actually, no, let's go for... Yeah, let's go for agility. Let's go for 1 here. All right. Oh, and I should do her characteristics. Got a total of 2. I'm going to add 1 to... Yeah, 1 to strength. Yeah. 1 to stamina and 1 to strength. Sure. And last but not least, we have Gildor, who's getting 31 combat experience points. We are giving him 1 characteristic. Add his characteristic to stamina. Oh, his stamina out. Go for ability. And his axe skill gets 4 more. Field skill gets 4. 2 more to go up a level. Oh, he would have gotten 1 point from the giant during that battle. Forgot to add that. So in a combat where you're using a shield, but the shield is not actually hit, it does get a one partial expertise point in that. Cross that in the rules here. Yeah, shield users succeed when they block a shield hit in battle. If their shield is not hit, partial success will apply. So partial success gives them one point. And I don't remember if Raffin, I think Raffin either did or didn't get hit. Yeah, I didn't get his shield hit in that battle either. So found that rule somewhere in the last week here. So shield heater. Difficulty on 5. Yeah, he didn't. Would have been +1. Okay, cool. Great. Oh, Raffin, your bastard sword and your shield get another each. 4. Sword. And that would be that. Characteristics. Cool. Now, we have wounded people. Last but not least, before I wrap up here, we are going to do some healing. And then we'll call it a day. And pick up here next time when they figure out where these orcs came from. Maybe they'll travel back. Actually, their armor's in pretty sad shape. You're going to make a note of where this place is and head back to the town, get a bit of repairs or buy new armor, something like that, and then head out again because they not a good idea to be going after these other orcs without armor in place. And Marizan has offered to help take out the rest of the orcs since he doesn't hold any affinity to them or any loyalty to them. So let's see. Let's start with what can Gildor do here? You know what? Actually, I'm going to spend some time and figure out. I think Gildor can do something called a healing mist. We'll kind of get into that next time around, and we'll call it a day here. So anyways, that was a bit of a arduous and drawn out battle. Some not great rolls, but then I guess not great rolls on both sides, so they didn't quite kill my characters either. So we are going to call it here and pick up again with the healing up our characters, traveling back to town, probably spending the night in town, picking up some new armor and things like that, any other supplies and things. And we will then go and continue our orc hunt, find where the rest of these orcs are hiding. Because he said not all of these orcs were the ones that were trailing her. Some of these have met up with these other guys, and there must be some additional orcs still. So anyways, have a great day, guys. Talk to you later.